today's MMA T Company fight preview, I have a sponsored professional MMA fighter, Ryan Parker. Ryan is going to be fighting March 6th at Ohio Combat League against a very game opponent, Travis Davis, who is 9-4. That's going to be at a catchweight at 200 pounds. Ryan, thanks for joining us. How's it going down there at X Combat? How are you guys doing with this training camp all together?
Thanks for having me first off, and it's doing great. You know, we have a few guys competing around this time. Me and another sponsored athlete by MMA Tico, Pierre Ba. We're going to up to Ohio, Newark, Ohio for Ohio Combat League 11 on March 6th,
Mhm.
2021. So this camp's been really good. We've been training hard for the past 8 weeks or so. Just kind of sharpening up all the tools. Me and Pierre both have some really solid opponents that we're going to face off against. Me going against Travis Davis, 9-4, ranked #1 at middleweight out there. A guy that's really experienced. Like I said, he has almost 15 fights professionally. He's had some opportunities and got some eyes from the UFC. I know recently he applied to go on to the Ultimate Fighter. I don't think he ever heard anything back, but just the fact that he's in those eyes and in those conversations shows the caliber of opponent he is. So I'm really excited to go up there and test myself against him and bring to the table what I do and see if I can't stifle him a bit.
Mhm. And last time we talked, you said that you kind of felt that you were on the verge of that caliber of fighter yourself, right? You felt you're putting it together in the gym. Stuff started clicking mentally. So is this a fight for you that you feel it's kind of your breakout fight to put yourself on that stage, to put your name in the hat with those guys that are applying for Ultimate Fighter, Dana White Contender Series, different things along those lines?
Absolutely. That was what went into, me and my management getting this fight offered to us and just saying, yo, this is one we got to jump on. Like I said, this is an opponent I respect very, very highly. I respect his skill. He's well rounded. He's good everywhere. He has good stand up. He's a skilled on the ground. He has a good jiu-jitsu pedigree. So, I realized at this point in my career, these are the people that I now have to come in and show like I belong in this class of people. I can dominate this level of competition as well. So for me, when his name came across, it was a no-brainer. It was like, hey, this is the challenge we need. And I truly feel like I'm a person that rises to the challenge put in front of me. You put a beast in front of me, and that makes me become an even bigger beast to put him down. So, I'm excited for this one.
And it's an interesting matchup between the two of you because he does have that wealth of pro experience at this point, and you yourself, while you don't have as many pro fights, right, you did have a longer amateur career where
Mm-hmm.
you were able to build that experience, kind of test yourself, learn what works and what didn't. And we were talking a little bit offline about how now you feel most comfortable up above that 190 195 weight, and with this being a 200-pound catch weight, is that something you see yourself going and sticking around at 205?
For sure, yeah. Like I said, and like we talked about it a little bit in our last interview. I just started to kind of see over the last couple years, just my performance at 185 mixed with I am getting older. I'm 28 years old now, and you start to see your body go through those changes of just adulthood. You start to get that size that you always hear about, the man strength, the man size. And it definitely came on for me, in between fights back when I was 23, 24, I would sit at the most maybe like 218, 220, and it would be a struggle to get up there. I'd have to like completely stop doing anything to even start to get that big, just because my metabolism was so fast. And I just stayed lean so easy. And once I started to hit 25, 26, you start to see, legs get thicker, your body just starts to kind of change a little bit. You see like, oh man, you're looking thick, man. Like, I start to get that. Everybody's like, are you hitting the gym? Like, I'm like, hey, I'm doing a little something, but not as much as y'all are saying. But, so I just started to see like those marks started to get higher and higher. And then as a result, you start to kind of see like, okay, when when I'm cutting weight and trying to make that 185, practices, you're seeming a lot more just drained and like laboring to put in the same amount of work that, you used to do at that weight easier. So, it just was like you had to make the smart decision. You gotta, this isn't just go out there and fight. You gotta make sure that you're putting yourself in the best position to perform on fight night. And I think fighting at, preferably 205. Like I tried to get this one at 205. I was like, come on, we doing 200. Why make me cut 5 more pounds? But, beggars can't be choosers, and there's got to be some compromise on both sides. So I was like, 200 is not too low. I can spend one more session in the sauna.
And then, especially because you don't have to go, an extra 20 down to 185. So you'll still be feeling, real fresh in that cage. Now, last time we talked a little bit, you talked about how, when you started at X Combat, it wasn't something that was necessarily like your goal, your vision, right? To, kind of go the route that you did, but your coaches, kind of talk to you about, you should look into fighting and doing that thing. And the team was real small at that point. And now you're kind of, growing to the point where you have fighters, you and Pierre in one card, then there's another guy on a card the next weekend. And then you got people competing all over the place. Being the person that kind of got to see the growth of that team, how has that been for you? Being able to be a part of that and being able to evolve with the gym.
Oh, it's been a super rewarding experience. Yeah, like it's funny sometimes because like I feel like so my favorite rap artist is J. Cole, and he had a song called Middle Child where like he kind of explained perfectly how I feel. And like so like you said, I was there for the beginning of it, so I got to see when, it was only a couple fighters for Team X Combat, and just that was it. And now to kind of be still in the thick of it and still going strong and getting to see like, we've got, saying me and Bob fighting on the 6th, and then the weekend after that, we're down in South Carolina for Tua Reba and my teammate Dimitri fighting down at Derek Brunson's car. And then actually this weekend we got another teammate, Kasim Ruff, and he's doing a combat jiu-jitsu match down there in South Carolina. So like you said, just getting to see like the humble beginnings where it was me and maybe like one or two other guys, and we are just going around like, who is this little small team of 3, to now, we got a stable of up and coming beasts. And, it's just one of those things, like, it's cool to see because, like, you get to see the perseverance, especially the time that Coach Xavier Bell put in to just try to build and the vision he had for it. And just to see it starting to come to fruition and continue to grow is, it's great. It's the reward outside of your own personal accomplishment. You get to see like, man, I'm getting to be a part of something that one day could be something big.
And speaking on that a little bit more, is since you have been around, since the beginning, you mentioned you're 28, so you're not like the old guy in the room, but at the same time, some people might look at you as like, Ryan's been here forever, like he's the old guy in the room, right? So are people coming to you for support, for questions, for advice? Are you also able to help out in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, I get in all aspects of it, from training, like, they keep me on my toes because everyone's looking at me. Everyone's like, man, how are we working as hard as Ryan? So, I'm like, I can't be slacking off in here and not pushing it. And like you said, like, just from talking to your teammates, I got so many that, they're telling me about just like the things they go through, like dealing with nerves, feeling like they're stagnant in their process and like wanting to continue to grow. And I'm just, and like I said, I don't feel like the old guy in the room because I'm like, I'm only 28, I've only been doing this about 5 years. So I don't think that's at all veteran in any way, but, they look at me as like the OG. So anytime I can, I drop knowledge on them from my experiences and give them, just a little bit of a viewpoint of somebody that has been in there. So, it's cool to be able to do that and be able to help it and see it really give them confidence to continue on and keep evolving in their craft.
Sure. And at that same time, right, there's there's always that next guy, right? That's always trying to push you, right? And he's like, I'm gonna
Exactly.
get the better of Ryan today. Like today's gonna be the day. Like I'm gonna get the better of Ryan. So you always got to be
Yeah.
on your game too. Of like, not today.
Yeah, every time I walk into practice, they like, "Oh, Ryan, all right, we're gonna get beat up." And then they're like, "Hey, Ryan, you didn't beat me up as bad today. You know, before you know it, I'm gonna be beating you up." And I'm like, all right, let me keep training." So that never happened. So, it keeps it fun for me though. You know what I mean? Because you can get to a point where like you feel stagnant, where you're the best in the room or the most experienced, most veteran guy, and it's kind of in those situations that you don't have those people keep pushing you. It's kind of hard to keep evolving yourself. So they keep me learning because I mean, and some of them are beasts. Some of them do things that I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. And you're talking about me. Look at the way you kick. Look at the way your ground game. Like I feel like I'm behind on you. Can you give me some pointers? So it's cool. It's a family, and we give and take from each other, and it's all for the greater good in the end of the day.
And speaking of what you can do and what you've been doing in the gym, I wanted to flip the switch back to your fight here. Um, how do you see this fight going? How's your game plan feeling? How are you, feeling just strategically going into this fight with how your skill set matches up?
I feel really good going into this fight. I feel like looking at the fight, you can kind of lean toward him just because of the experience factor. 9-4, that's almost 3 times as many fights as I've had. I'm going in 7. That's 2 times because
Mhm.
he's about 14 fights in. So twice the fight experience as a pro. Um, so I can see how people can think that that would probably put me at a disadvantage. But I look at the matchups of it, and I think for this fight particularly, Travis is a really experienced and seasoned fighter, but I believe that some of the things that I do at a really high level and are able to execute at a really high level are the things that will give him problems. I have the height, I have the reach advantage, controlling distance, controlling range. I know he's a game fighter. He's going to get in there. He's going to try to make it an ugly fight. He's skilled with his hands and his feet. So I think just me really implementing the game plan that we put in place to utilize my advantages and use my advantages to make him make mistakes. Because MMA is a game of who can make the opponent make the first mistake and who can capitalize on that one. And you're playing that game the whole time. It's like, oh, I made you make a mistake, but I wasn't able to capitalize, and you made me make a mistake, and you weren't able to capitalize. So it's just being able to read that, get you out of your comfort zone. And he's a very comfortable fighter. So that's what I really want to do from the first bell to the last bell. I want to make him uncomfortable. I want to make him feel like I have to do something now that maybe he wasn't planning to do right then. And that's why I'm going to try to capitalize and try to finish him.
Awesome. Yeah, they always say, right, matchups kind of make the fights, right?
Matchups in the
Styles
fight.
make the fights, and then it a lot of it hinges on how long can you be uncomfortable, right? Or how can you be
Exactly.
comfortable being uncomfortable? So the more that
Exactly.
you get in his face, you make him do something that maybe he wasn't planning on. Um, that throws a lot of fighters off. It's something that a lot of people, even if you have a game plan, what they say, you get punched in the mouth and that game
Mike
plan goes out
Tyson.
the
You
window.
play the
Yeah.
fight. Game plan goes out the window.
Good, good. So we're looking forward to this fight coming up on the 6th. You and Pierre, fighting on the same card. Before I let you go, just wanted to flip it back to you. Give any shout outs, teammates, coaches, sponsors, anybody that's been kind of supporting you along the way and helping you get to the point where you're at now.
For sure. So first off, of course, want to shout out the home team, Team X Combat Wrestling Traps, Coach Xavier Bell, Coach Tim Brooklyn Morning, Gaddafi Bertho, Diego Bispo, and Diego Bispo Academy. Want to shout out my guy Josh and Trampa Muay Thai and all his killers over there. Those have been my main training partners for this camp, and they've been some beasts. I want to shout out my boy Samson. He's a fellow massive sponsor athlete. That's another one of my sponsors, and he opened his gym up to me to come out and just the whole time get some new looks in the wrestling aspect. He's got some beast over there, so he opened his doors to me and to Pierre and to some of our other teammates. So thankful to him and Gustavo Machado, the House of Muay Thai in Norfolk. Uh, that's the brother Jake Chamberlain. All of them over there, the Beast over there. I was over there yesterday. They opened the doors as always. The whole 757, a Grindstone Academy. There's so many places that I got to train this camp. And I think that's one of the things that's been so great about this one. Like in the past, you know, I'm even at a place of like it's kind of weird how calm I am for this fight because you know it's like something Justin Gaethje said. His preparation is what led into his confidence going in, which is why he doesn't take short fights. And I kind of really relate to that mindset because like for me, the preparation is key. I believe I have the skills to beat anybody that they put in front of me, and it's just a matter of being prepared and bringing the best Ryan. So all of these places have allowed me to do that. This camp, I want to shout out Massive Supplements, Massive Industries, my sponsors. They provide me with all my supplementation and good training gear as well. Check them out at Massive Industries on Instagram, and their website is linked in their bios. I want to thank the Spine Group, Virginia Beach. They keep me in line. The chiropractic office, they keep my back good when it's cracking in practice and from wrestling. So they keep me going. The UFC gym, Virginia Beach, they've sponsored me and really given me a lot of free reign over there to get training in and get sessions in and bring people in I needed to prepare with. Oh, and shout out my man Brian Collette in this area. He's a really, really good kickboxer. He is top 10 in glory. He actually has a Lions fight, March 12th. He's going for the 205 belt. We got to get up some today and get some work in. And he just gave me some great knowledge. So I want to thank him. And just everybody in the 757, all my supporters that support me and have been following my journey. Continue to follow, continue to watch. I'm telling you, 2021 is going to be a big year for me and my team. And this is the first step. I'm claiming it right now. We're going to go out here. We're going to show them what we do. We're going to show them what Team X does. And, you know what I'm saying, we're going to bring the heat. So I'll be ready.
Awesome, Ryan. We're looking forward to it. Wishing you continued success here while you, continue your climb here at 205. Good luck against Travis Davis. That's going to be Ohio Combat League 11 again on March 6th. And we'll be in touch on the other side. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.